Does Dave, Paul, did Dave see my Sonics?
You've been showing off that can of yours, and I look at it looks good on TV. When you see this thing in person,
fourth grade birthday, Dave got that Sonics garbage can. Still have it with me, buddy.
That's a classic, man. Dave Softy Mahler back with us. Listen, let's talk some Huskies, Dave. They had close to 20,000 fans at Husky Stadium for the spring game last Friday. Any takeaways, Softy, from this team this spring?
Yeah, first of all, let me go back to the garbage can over there, because that's more interesting than anything we're going to be talking about here on this show in the next 5 or 6 minutes. So let's talk trash. What I love is the old school Bruce Bochy style Mariner batting helmet there on the table. Yeah. That's badass. Chris, put that thing on, man. That is incredible.
Isn't that nice?
That looks like a giveaway from the Dome in 1979.
You know what?
That has got some wear and tear.
My brother Brian would wear this and bring his scorecard to the Kingdom, and
Yeah, but Paul, as you said, the only way that would make that better is if it was upside down and full of ice cream and whipped cream and hot fudge. Remember, DQ back in the day used to do the little mini helmets. How come somebody can't do a helmet sundae with an actual full-size helmet? Why does it have to be a mini helmet?
Well, I know and I missed the mini helmets. That was so easy.
Yeah. You guys remember Farrell's restaurant, by the way, back in the day, where they would have the pig trough and the zoo and all that stuff? I got this idea. I'm sorry, I'm going to just ramble here for a second, if that's okay. I got this idea that I want to do like a retro food court, right, in a mall somewhere. I want to have like a Flaky Jake's. I want to bring back Pizza and Pipes. I want to bring back Farrell's restaurant, Coco's, all that stuff. All I need is some money. So if anybody out there wants to fund Softy's retro food court, maybe we can get together and talk about doing something.
I'm in with you, buddy. Then you got the 70s, 80s, and maybe throw a little 90s in there, too. I mean, where's Kenny Rogers Roasters, Boston Market, little Chuck E. Cheese
how about Godfather's?
Pizza?
Whatever happened to Godfather's Pizza, man? Is there any Godfather's Pizza left in the area?
There is one. There is one. It is in beautiful Parkland, Washington, I believe it's near the Spanaway Lake Golf Course.
There you go. Yeah, beautiful Parkland. That's a compliment, man. That's a bit of a stretch right there. But hey, let me show you what I'm dealing with here, guys, because you showed me your Sonic garbage can. I've been trying to get rid of this thing for years, and for some reason, my wife will not let me get rid of it. I hate this logo, but she won't let me trash this thing. Look at the old school weasel garbage can that we got here at home. Okay, I mean, I see this thing and I see Tyrone Willingham's face, and I want to do bad things to it when I see that logo. Okay, think about the 2008 season. I get a little irritated. My face gets all red. My wife won't let me toss it. I don't get it, man. When you're married, there's just weird things that wives like to hang on to, and that's one of them for some reason.
Paul, to this day, the greatest post-game question of all time in Seattle sports history was asked by the man joining us right here, Dave Softy Mahler. Dave and I were at Martin Stadium together back in the day. It was that season, UW Wazoo beats the Huskies, and they end up having the post-game presser like in a Washington State weight room. It was so bad. Tyrone Willingham sitting there. I'm on a bench press, and Dave asked this question. Now, the Huskies still had one game to go. They had to travel down to Cal. And correct me if I'm wrong, Softy, but I think you asked Tyrone, are you even going to that game?
Yeah, no, well, so Kim Reynolds of Dogman asked him about the Cal game. And first of all, Paul, when Chris says he was on a bench press, he was actually working out during the post-game press conference. So he had to get a couple reps in before he got on the bus to go back to Seattle. Kim Reynolds asked him, are you going to be coaching the Cal game? Which, if you remember, there was a bye, and then the Huskies went to Cal. I mean, you got to be kidding me, dude. You're 0-11, and now you got to take a week off before you head down to Cal to play the Bears, who were pretty good back then. And he asked Tyrone if he was going to coach that game, and Willingham just gave him that stare that he likes to give people. And I followed up, well, are you coaching that game? And then I got the same stare, and the press conference was over. So, yeah, that was a fun season. By the way, that's a reminder to every AD. If you fire a coach in the middle of the year, get rid of him. All right? Get rid of him. Don't have him on the roster. Get him off the sideline. They should have given the job to Randy Hart. Maybe he could have won a game or two. Let me tell you something, boys. There's a big difference between 0-12 and 1-11. Trust me, I know, because I've seen them both.
Man. All right, there's more optimism about this year's team coming up. I think they're in good hands with Jed Fish, and they just came off that spring game. Did you notice notice anything out of that spring game? Because it's always tough to pull something from an exhibition game like that.
I love the fact that Paul's been trying to transition for 5 minutes, by the way, to get to this spring game that we saw Friday. I mean, not much, dude. They had a lot of guys that were out, Paul, from that thing on Friday. You know, Jordan Washington wasn't there. The Hatchet men, the Hatchet brothers, Garen and Landon, were not playing in that game. We had volleyball coaches and women's soccer coaches making calls and making plays during the game. It was more of a carnival than it was anything else, I thought, on Friday night. And look, for me, the big questions are obvious. Who's going to replace Jonah Coleman and Adam Muhammad? Who's going to be on the edge to come off the edge and get some pressure for these guys? You're losing Takario Davis and Ephesians Pricesock. What is that secondary going to look like? But I was really impressed, guys, by the two freshmen. We had Cody Green, who went to Eastside Catholic and then spent a year at Mater Dei in California on the show. And he came by with Derek Coleman Broussard at a Kennedy Catholic. And I just couldn't believe how big these dudes are for 18-year-old kids. I mean, Chris, Derek just turned 18 like 3 or 4 days ago.
Derek Coleman, Derek Coleman. I'm so excited to watch him as a Husky. He's got his brother on the team as well. I mean, his arms are the size of both of my legs together. We featured him when he was at Kennedy Catholic, and incredible man off the field, but what he does on the field is just puts tear into quarterbacks' eyes. I mean, no high school quarterback wanted to go up against this guy because they were worried they were going to be injured and done for the season.
Right.
He is
He played mostly on the edge in high school, right, for Kennedy on the outside. Ryan Walters was on with us, the defensive coordinator, on Friday, and he said 6'5", 295. He got too big to play outside, literally. He's going to play inside for the most part for these guys. As an 18-year-old freshman, and we've seen freshmen start, we've seen freshmen play, but I don't remember a lot of them starting from day one at left tackle like Cody Green's likely going to do. I mean, Nick Harris, remember him as a freshman against Alabama at center. We saw Parker Brailsford, redshirt freshman like Rosengarten over at right tackle, but at left tackle, man, and now at defensive tackle at 295. NIL's driving some of this. I think there's no question, Paul and Chris, you're going to pay these guys the millions of dollars you're paying them. You kind of got no choice, right, but to play them right away. But I think Cody Green and DCB are going to be two guys that Husky fans are going to love from the jump. Yeah, they're going to go after it strong. I love to see the local kids. Look out for Jacob Lane from Emerald Ridge. I think he's going to make an impact this year as well. You mentioned the NIL. There was some stuff on social media yesterday, Softy, that it's going to take $50 million to build a college football team. Just your thoughts on this and where we're going right now. Yeah, I saw Kyle Whittingham said that, right? The new coach of Michigan came out a couple of days ago and said, $50 million. Well, I mean, if that's what it's going to take, the Huskies are nowhere near that mark right now. I mean, let's just be honest about it. They're nowhere near what they need to be, period. And that's not coming from my mouth. That's coming from Jed Fish's mouth. Every time we have Jed Fish on the air, he talks about that they are way behind where teams like Ohio State and Michigan are. Texas, you're talking about looking at $35, $40 million rosters right now. And Washington's about probably 60% about where they need to be with NIL. So the more money these teams start to raise with their third-party NIL programs, and now it's, gone from obviously, the Dogs Unleashed guys are now, in charge of all that. That's an on-campus thing, and you can take $20 million and pay the athletes in-house, but that's not all going to football. That money's getting spread around. Most of it's going to football, but you still have to take care of basketball, other sports as well. They're going to need a lot of people to step up and start donating a lot of money if this thing is going to keep going this way. And I'm really curious. I'm not concerned, guys. I'm really curious where Washington is in that space in the next maybe 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, you look at, you brought it up before. You talk about the NIL and you talk about these guys coming in. Yes, these freshmen who are coming in, they're bigger, they're stronger, and they are getting paid good money. I mean, they're basically pro athletes when they show up at these schools. They are expected to hit the field and produce right away.
No question, because if they don't, then somebody else will grab them. And that's my point about, hey, look, if I'm a money bags donor, right, if I'm Daddy Warbucks and I've got millions of dollars to spend on athletes, am I spending it on high school players who could leave and go to play for somebody else? Or am I spending it in the portal on established dudes that can come over here and make an immediate impact. You know, guys like Carver Willis did. You know, guys like Jonah Coleman when they transfer over with Jed Fish from Arizona. So, you know, look, I still think you want to make your nucleus about a great high school recruiting base. But if I got money to spend, Paul, I might consider spending it on guys that are towards the end of their career, not in the beginning of their career. I mean, last year at this time, you remember who was the star? Who was the big star coming out of spring ball? It was Raiden Vines-Bright, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes and transfers after a year and takes off to Arizona State. So what was the point of all of that with Raiden Vines-Bright, you know, last year, for God's sake? So, yeah, I mean, the more money you're paying these guys, the more they're going to play right away, because if you don't, they're going to take off. All
right, we started this segment in the food court. We'll end there. Happy Taco Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. Hard shell, soft shell. Paul's going hard. I'm going with the carb-free soft shell taco.
Yeah, it just feels like if you're going to binge, you're binging on the crisp tacos, the hard shell, you know, a couple of, you know, chicken soft tacos from Taco Time, but I could probably pound 8 or 10 of the hard shells. And by the way, quick plug for Taco Time, $2 tacos all day long. No limit. Buy as many as you want.
Man, between you and Egan, the implied endorsements that you guys have on this show, I don't know, I'm missing out on something here. Egan's pushing lawnmowers yesterday. It's like, you know, I don't know where he gets these deals from.
I'm going to be honest, Dave, I love the Taco Time soft meat burrito. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm a big natural chicken soft taco guy, because I feel like when the word natural is in the conversation, I feel like I'm actually losing weight while I'm eating it, which is ridiculous.
What I love is they give you the natural soft taco and then just a big crate of tater tot stuff.
Yeah, right. Wipe it out.
Well, Paul, listen, if you're up for a taco, TacoTimeandW.com. You got to sell your house. It's Tamara Lamore of BKT Northwest. Get your car, check out my friends at BeeryandToyota.com, by the way, while you're at it.
Dave Softy Mahler, Sports Radio KJR. Always great to visit with you, Softy. Thanks for jumping on.
See you guys.